The first question is the conspiracy. So, I mean, there are a lot of theories that coming back and forth, right, from here to there and from this part of the world to the other part of the world, that the virus is made in whatever lab in China, in Wuhan, and then it has leaked, and or it has been made in Harvard or somewhere, also another lab. And I want to actually know exactly how could this be possible? Is it possible? How could this be possible? I think the one who would be most able to answer this is Dr. Vabre, Nico, Dr. Nicolas Vabre. Can you please tell us your vision of this conspiracy?
Yeah, so I think there are two rumors that we can distinguish. The first one is that the virus would be man-made in the sense, or it would be like artificially designed by a scientist somewhere. And I think on this particular question, we can confidently say that it's absolutely not true. Because when you have people in labs that do some genetical engineering on viruses or on bacteria or on plasmid, the way that a human would write the DNA sequence has a certain style. If you want a kind of style of writing the genome of the DNA sequence, and we have information about the sequence of the viruses, and you don't see any footprint that would indicate that it has been artificially designed by any human. It's really like the style of writing the sequence, if you want, is very similar to what nature would do. So this is the first thing. The second thing is whether the first step of contamination from animal to human would have been because it's someone who would have been, for example, infected at the wet market in Wuhan, or is it laboratory people who have, for example, were working on a bat or pangolin coronaviruses, and they were working on this in a cell culture room, and they drop a flask and they get infected. So this is much more complicated to answer because we cannot know from the data what we have, which are the sequence of the virus, whether the transmission from animal to human has been natural in the sense that it has been because eating meats from the animals, or you've been in close contact to a bat or a pangolin, or it's because it's been transmitted from a lab. I think when I hear people saying that they have enormous evidence to indicate that the virus would come from a lab, I don't really see the kind of evidence that would allow us to conclude that. I think that the more data we will have on the first patient that have been infected initially will give us a good indication from where exactly geographically the epidemics have started. And then we will be able to answer this question. But for the moment, there is absolutely no reason to think that this would come from a lab that would have mishandled a virus and that started a contamination.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.